Hey guys, welcome to Scare Theater, and today we're going to be looking at my top 10 favorite creepypastas. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another one of these cliche top 10 videos. Well, I've noticed that in a lot of other top 10 creepypastas, they always include a bunch of overused creepypastas that we've already heard of, such as The Slender Man, Ben Drowned, and Jeff the Killer. Whereas these are good pastas, we've already heard of all of them. So my goal here is to include 10 underrated creepypastas in this list, and hopefully some that you may not have heard of. With that said, these are my top 10 creepypastas. 10. The Little Pink Backpack. The Little Pink Backpack is such an original idea because instead of telling a story the way most pastas do, it tells a story through pictures. The plot of the story is that someone finds a backpack, and inside of it finds a diary written by a little girl. The childish drawings and occasional spelling errors make the pasta much more realistic. Whereas this one wasn't all that scary, it was definitely an interesting way to tell a story. 9. Autopilot. Autopilot, another very original story, starts off by explaining what it actually means when our brain enters autopilot, by including some examples that most of us can easily relate to. It's not long before the story takes a twisted turn, and the author's brain going into autopilot causes much more fatal consequences than usual. If this isn't creepy enough, there have been several cases of things like this happening in real life. 8. The Bad Dream. This one is so unique because it can become so creepy in such a small amount of time. Pastas this short are known as micropastas. It's fascinating how a story this short can become so scary so quickly without seeming rushed. 7. Normal Porn for Normal People. Normal Porn for Normal People is an interesting story about a guy who receives an email about a porn website called Normal Porn for Normal People. Out of curiosity, he checks out the website and finds that it is anything but normal. What makes this pasta more interesting is that there's even a fan-made website of normalpornfornormalpeople.com that even tries to replicate some of the videos in the story. 6. 12 Minutes. 12 Minutes is one of the few creepypastas I've ever read that actually gave me the chills after reading it. It's about a news channel that has to fill a scheduling gap, and because of this, they allow a religiously themed show to play during that time. It wasn't long until people who watched it started to get nauseous while watching the show, specifically at 12-minute intervals. It isn't until later on in the story that we find out exactly what is happening in these 12-minute intervals. 5. Lost Episodes. Despite the cliche-sounding name, this story is actually pretty original, which is one of the things that makes this great. It took an unoriginal idea and was able to somehow make it original, which must not have been easy to do. It's about someone's friend who would attempt to fix movies by editing them and cutting scenes together, often making them appear much more violent than they originally were. Eventually, his friend gets sucked out of reality too far. 4. Where Bad Kids Go. Where Bad Kids Go was another creepypasta that truly scared me. This one is about an Arabic show that would pretty much just tell people what bad kids would do and try to make sure that kids were not bad. It would end by zooming in on a rusty door while screams could be heard in the background. Then, text in Arabic would show up saying, "That's where bad kids go." The author, who is now a journalistic photographer, decides to investigate what went on behind that show. He ends up finding the studio, and what he sees there will shock you. 3. Just a Children's Show. Just a Children's Show isn't directly creepy, but the mood that it gives off is just really unnerving, and these are the pastas that I find the creepiest. The pasta is simply the author telling us about a show that he remembers from when he was a kid, but there is one part of the show that is just so subtly off that it really makes this pasta one of a kind. 2. Pale Luna. Pale Luna, just like Lost Episodes, takes an unoriginal idea, in this case a video game pasta, and makes it original. This is about an extremely time-consuming and difficult text adventure game that reveals coordinates when completed. Where these coordinates lead to will really make you unsettled. But what makes this story amazing is how at the very end, everything that was mentioned earlier all starts to piece itself together. 1. Day of All the Blood. Day of All the Blood is hands down the best creepypasta I've ever read in my life. It's extremely original, has amazing grammar, and an even better storyline. I'm not even going to spoil this one at all, you just have to read it for yourself. Alright guys, and those were my top 10 favorite creepypastas. This was just my opinion on what 10 creepypastas I thought were the best. Do you agree with me on this list, or do you disagree? What are your top 10 favorite creepypastas, or what are just your favorite creepypasta in general? And that is it guys. If you want to see other creepy stuff, then make sure to subscribe, because I will not only be posting videos like this, but just creepy stuff in general. So if that interests you, then make sure to subscribe. And that is it guys. Thank you for watching.